Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all to everybody who has been rocking with us tonight. Had a long show, had a good show, had an outstanding show, as we do every single week, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. I want to have a special thank you goes to everybody who participated. Our sister Danielle and K-Dub and our brother Tori and Dating Pool Diva and our brother Sean and Dee Dee and Jay Grizzy and Michelle K and Lady Z and D and Couch Coach Mo, Hakeem, Terry, everybody who checked in. If I missed your name, chalk it up to my mind and not my heart. It's time for me to close it out with our history moment. At this time of the show, every single week, we always make sure that we drop a little piece of history on you. This week, we are commemorating, I don't know if commemorate is the right word, but this week is when the information was made plain. From 1932 to 1972, the United States government was conducting a clinical study. That clinical study allowed them to infect black men with syphilis. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male was also known as the Tuskegee syphilis study, or the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, was an infamous clinical study conducted between 1932 and 1972 by the United States Public Health Service. The purpose of the study was to observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis in rural African American men in Alabama under the guise of receiving free health care from the United States government. The Public Health Service started working on the study in 1932 in collaboration with Tuskegee University, which is, of course, an HBCU in Alabama. Investigators enrolled in the study a total of 600 impoverished black men, sharecroppers from Macon County, Alabama. Of these men, 399 had previously contracted syphilis before the study began, and 201 did not have the disease. The men were given free medical care, meals, and free burial insurance for participating in the study. After funding for treatment was lost, the study continued without informing the men they would never be treated. None of the men infected were ever told they had the disease, and none were treated with penicillin, even when the antibiotic was proven to successfully treat syphilis. According to the Center for Disease Control, the men were told they were being treated for, quote, bad blood, a local term for various illnesses that included syphilis, anemia, and fatigue. The 40-year study was controversial, obviously, for reasons related to ethical standards. Researchers knowingly failed to treat patients appropriately. After the 1940s, validation of penicillin was found as an effective cure for the disease they were studying. Revelation in 1972 of study failures by a whistleblower led to major changes in the United States law and regulation on the protection of participants in clinical studies. Now studies require informed consent, communication of diagnosis, and accurate reporting of test results. The Tuskegee experiment. Basically, America was infecting black men with syphilis just to see how that shit would play out. America. Hey, take the A off. America. What y'all up to? And you know how Steph Mark J, live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. And y'all worry, y'all wonder why I be so damn grumpy and come on the radio and say the shit that I say and speak the way I speak. Because we talking about 2 years before I was born.
Word.
Facebook Live, y'all just fell on me, but damn it, I got it. I just got excited.
Bro, it was the year I was born.
Jay Grizzy was born in 1972.
72, babe.
You know, we
syphilis
got
free though.
Yeah, 2 years before I was born, 1972. Basically, my daddy, my granddaddy were both in the wheelhouse of being part of the Tuskegee experiment with regards to how old they were. Giving you a sexually transmitted disease, the government, just to see that how it would play out. And you wonder why there's still some of us walking around in America to this day that have a natural distrust for law enforcement and America.
Well put.
America, take the A off. America, what y'all up to? Ain't no how Steph Mark J, live from the den, Legacy Internet Radio. All right, it's time for us to run around the room, do our rants and our closings. I'll hit you with a missing child here in a minute before I close it out. My rant will be brief. I'm going to start it off with a New Balance. Our brother Tori is going to start it off, and Sean will piggyback off of him. Your rant and your closing is basically when you say whatever it is that's on your mind, whatever it is that's on your spirit, this is where you rep your squad. Tori, you up first. My brother, what you got, man?
I just want to talk about the experimentation you just spoke on. Basically, it still occurs. It's through food, through your water. It's in everything. It doesn't stop. It's a high-powered machine as far as the money they can make off of your sickness. So many different ways. So you just got to wake up and stop trusting.
My brother, ain't no hashtag Marcus J. Sean, what you got?
For me, I've been on this walk with Tori since 2011, definitely 2012, and I made some choices, and we're starting to make moves. And my rant is, we're in a spirituality business, and we're in a business of loving and healing, and also being independent. Having the time to take care of our families and things of that order. So what I'm saying is, for us to really keep it moving, because we're going to be criticized in the ways that we think and the ways that we walk. So let's work together as a community, because I'm definitely trying to build a community and support one another in all the things that we do, and that is my rant.
Ain't no hashtag Marcus J. Live from Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Didi, Mike is yours, sis. Close it out with your rant and your closing. What you got?
So much stuff to be upset about right now. I have not focused on my rant, quite honestly. My one thing that's been on my mind for a couple of months now is financial shaming. I shouldn't say financial shaming, just people who are doing better than other people, making assumptions about people who aren't as financially accomplished as they are, or materialistically accomplished as they are. I shouldn't say accomplished. Who don't have the same things that they are. Just because you have and someone doesn't make them any less of a person. They just have different priorities. I'm glad for you, happy for you, but I'm I will support you, and I'm not going to judge you. But when you start judging others, that's when I have an issue with you. Who are my favorite saying? I know it's dumb. Who are we to judge, or who is somebody says? Who is you to judge, or something like that? But who are we to judge? Who are you to judge? You could have something now. You don't know what's going to happen to you in your life where it's all gone. Then where are you going to be? Are you going to shame yourself? Are you going to judge yourself? I think not. That's my rant.
Ain't no hashtag Marcus J. Live from Den, Legacy Internet Radio, the inspiration of Legacy Internet Radio. My brother Jay Grizzly Green. What it do, homie?
She talk about people stunting on people. Stop stunting on people, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, man, make sure y'all go check out the Last Laugh podcast on demand at legacyinternetradio.com. There's 4 episodes up right now. More episodes will be dropping soon. It's me sitting down with your local comedians here in Richmond, Virginia, and some comedians in the future that you might see up and coming. Being a comedian, being in the comedy world myself, we just like to sit down and chop it up about the business, chop it up about comedy. And let me say something about comedians on my rant. Comedians are very intelligent. We use humor to. Some people use humor to educate. Some people use humor to bring levity to situations. I personally myself, when y'all hear me on these airwaves at legacyinternetradio.com, I want you to feel what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go all the way left so it can hit you in the heart. And if it pulls some emotion out of you, my job is done. That's my rant and closings, and I'll say that they ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. That's Marcus Jones.
You gonna just go ahead and steal my line?
Tonight, but appreciate it, bro.
You gonna just steal my line, huh?
Shit, you said shit, so shit, yeah.
That's Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Featured guest in the room for the night. Our sister dating pool diva, Arthur Charisma. Our sponsor here, Free Spirit Enterprises. Diva, what you got?
I'm gonna make it quick, short. Just want to talk about the Love Revolution real quick. Anybody who doesn't know about the Love Revolution, it's a group of people who have been, around for at least 6 years now, and we basically try to communicate and discuss relationships and how to strengthen them, especially in the Black community. So we have an event coming up. It's for the divas, for the women, August 26th. And right now, I'm still planning like where we're going to have it, but it's going to be like a pampering type of thing, ladies coming together, doing our thing, girlfriends night or whatever you want to call it. So keep posted on that by checking me out on Facebook, Author Charisma, KHARISMA, or you can go to, my website, Free Spirit Enterprises, co.biz. You can look me up on Twitter, same name, Author Charisma or Charisma Brown, and get information about, what I got going on, and follow me. Thank you for having me.
You got it. It's your home. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. Last thing I want to do before I get into my very, very, very brief rant closing is to make sure that we look for a missing and or exploited child. We're looking for China Burns. China Burns has been missing since July 20th, 2017. Last Thursday, right here, Cap City, Richmond, Virginia. 17-year-old black female, brown hair, brown eyes, 5'4", 115. Last seen wearing white tank top, beige pants, silver sandals. She's got a tattoo on her arm. If you've seen China Burns, please contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.org, or contact the Richmond City Police Department at 804-646-5125, or call 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Every once in a while, there's a missing child story that'll come up that'll be a little bit personal. I don't know China Burns, but there was a story that came out this week about human trafficking down in Texas, where there were a bunch of people in a tractor trailer, and most of them were found dead. And well, not most of them. Let me not restate. Let me not overstate that. Let me restate that. 9 of them were found to be dead because of the conditions. And my biggest fear is a lot of these missing children that we profile. Unfortunately, I'm not always able to provide an update for them, but I do occasionally get a call from a parent or a family member or email or text message where they tell me that, hey, look, we found them or something like that, or, usually it's positive. I've never gotten a negative response. But the reality is a lot of these people that go missing that you never hear from before end up in other states and other countries doing things that would not be ideal for them. So just remember that. Keep in mind, if you see somebody, open up your mouth. I did read a story about a woman in a diner. I don't know where this was, but I did read it. She was in a diner and she saw somebody, and the person didn't look right for him. And so when the male that was with them turned their head, she signaled the person to go to the bathroom, where she had left a pen and pad in the bathroom. Young woman went in there and she wrote down, "Help me." And she goes in there and she, of course, is able to get the paper, and she gets the person, and the person has a positive outcome. So just keep that in mind. It's important to all of us. Ain't no hashtag Marks J, live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. You're listening to the flagship show, heard every single Monday, 7 to 9. Of course, you listen to the listening party every single Tuesday. Hashtag Brother and Sister Shenanigans on Wednesday, All Throttle Radio on Thursdays. They will be live at Bar Louie here in Richmond, Virginia. This Thursday, be there or be square. Friday nights, you've got Couch Coach Live. Saturday, I Got Something to Say. And then on Sundays, you've got Irreconcilable Differences, as well as Twi After Dark. We will air this show that you're just listening to right now in its entirety immediately following this airing. It's time for me to give you my rant. It's time for you to give me my closing. One other quick thing. On Saturday nights, we play reggae music, Bob Marley and the Family Reggae Mix. And on Sunday mornings, we play amplified gospel. So gospel music, gospel soul, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, here's my rant. Here's my closing. I told you I would be brief. I'm going to need everybody in the room to not react to my statements here. This will be the final word of the show. But most of us like power. I like power. I like having power. double entendre here. But I'm talking about the TV show. I like Power. And I get a kick out of the show. Quite frankly, there's nobody on the show that I like. I don't like none of these people. Like most TV shows, I like at least one person. Like Young and the Restless, I like Victor Newman. And on Martin, I like Martin. You know, on Little House on the Prairie, I like Paul. You know what I mean? Like most shows, there's at least one person I like. I do not like anybody on Power. But you know what I like less than the people on Power? I like less the people who watch Power and go on social media and talk about Power before the rest of us get to watch Power. Let me just say this. I try to avoid going on social media and talking about this, mostly because I ain't no punk who wants to sit behind a keyboard and text message gangster people. I'm going to say it live on the show where you can come on here and you can tell me why I'm wrong for calling you out for ruining people's Sunday night. If you are someone, not just with Power, but just Scandal or Supergirl or whatever show is on, if you're somebody that has to get the information out before anybody else does, and you're blogging about it, not only live, but before the damn show even airs, because we know that Power comes on 9 o'clock on Sundays, we also know that Stars puts it on demand. So you can watch it Saturday night, all day Sunday, whatever. Now, some folks would say, look, Marcus J, it's not that serious. And I understand that. I agree. Marcus J, it's not that serious. But to me, this speaks to a character flaw in the people who have to do it. Because you have to know that there are people who are looking forward to their evening watching this TV show. So you got to go on social media and spoil it for everybody. That immediately makes you a whack person. I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not one of those, I'm going to delete you from Facebook people, because to me that's petty and whatever. Trust me, I don't do petty. Like, you can do petty to me. I'm not doing petty with you. That shit's whack. I'm not doing petty. But it tells me a lot about what I need to know about you. If you want to go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and you want to post about a show that you know everybody wants to watch, and you want to give details before anybody gets to see it, that to me is a level of petty that I don't want no parts of. So you can keep that shit over there. That's the myrrh. That's the myrrh. Marcus's unrelated rant. They ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to remind everybody that independence is key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all other squares. The abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Nesta, Robert Marley. Y'all know him as Bob. Y'all hear him singing in the background. Ain't no half-stepping with your man Marcus J. That's me. We'll be back next week, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio, with some more stuff to fuss about, because that's what I do. Love y'all. Be back next week, y'all. Peace.